an honor to be here and to work with Trip Sickery. And it's really an honor to be the first stand-up comedian the Yoga Journal has ever hired. And, which is kind of cool, you know. I think what my job really is in the unlikely event that anyone in the yoga world should get a little bit, you know, full of themselves. A highly unlikely event that anyone in yoga circles could be sacrosanct or precious about their spirituality or anything. Like, in that unlikely event, I would be the person poised to poke fun at it. That would be my job. So I'm honored to have that job. Yes, it's good to be here. Thank you. Thanks. Are you having a good time? I'm so happy you're here. It's awesome to see you. It's awesome. I'm going to come down and see you. I want to be with you more. I'm so thrilled. I am Vanda Mikoloski, and thank you. My couple fans who were in Wisconsin. Good. What a good night it is. It's such a good, there's my best friend in the world, Christina Hall. I'm so happy she's here. We haven't seen each other in 15 years. I just have to say that and get it out of my system. That's awesome. So now I'm present, I'm breathing, I'm here, I'm with you. Hi! So I call myself a spiritual stand-up comedian, but honestly, I have to tell you, I have to admit, I'm not very spiritual. For example, I don't have any food allergies. I am. I tolerate lactose. I do. I digest dairy. I do, right? Yeah, I know. Sometimes I go to raw food restaurants, bring the food home, and cook it. That's not right, is it? No. And spiritual people drink tea, herbal tea, right? I drink coffee. I love coffee. I do drink the organic, fair trade, shade-grown, free-range coffee. Farmed by female farmers, and amputee female farmers. They work so hard picking those beans. Oh, man. Okay, I found your edge. I found that you can't laugh at it. You can't go there. Okay. Okay, so, I gotcha. I see, I'll be responsible. Okay, good. So, yeah, and spiritual people are always raising their energy up from their lower chakras, right? The chakra of procreation and survival and sex and all that good stuff down there, and up to unconditional love and enlightenment. My first chakras are like my favorite chakras so far. Awesome. You taunt your people in the audience. That's great. Yeah. That's good. That's awesome. Yeah. So I work in a lot of strange venues. You know, I work in I'm working for the Yoga Journal. I work for I'm going to be on a cruise with Don Miguel Ruiz, the Four Agreements guy, coming up. And I work at Mensa conferences and New Thought churches. I've kind of carved out my own market for what I do. You know, New Thought churches, if you don't know, like Unity and stuff like that, are people who subscribe to the notion that we create our own realities through how we think. You guys, can you get on that wagon? Can you kind of get with that? Yeah, that the results in our life have something to do with the consciousness out of which we operate, right? You know, so it's really good because if I'm not funny, it's their fault. Awesome. Why would you do that? Why would you come to a comedy show and create me not being funny? That is so weird. Do we have celibate people here? Are you guys celibate? Anyone? No? Anyone celibate? No? I want to mean, well, I mean by design, not by default. Right? Not just because you couldn't get any. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. It's so good to be with you. I'm also a yoga teacher. I'm not a good one. I smoke and I judge people. Down dog, lard butt, let's go. You need to breathe. You really need to breathe. I was actually certified to teach a form of yoga. I don't want to say it because it's not like always, people have different reactions to it, but it rhymes with Shmikram. myself to teach a whole bunch of other different forms. One of the forms I came up with, sort of my own innovation. It's called Slapha yoga. Slapha yoga has two asanas in it. First is wake up and lie in bed. You have to hold the poses for a really long time. Breathe. Okay, Savasana. Good. All right. Slapha yoga. Thanks. That's my invention. What else can I tell you? Yeah, I was a broke yoga teacher for a long time. Now, being a broke yoga teacher in a small agricultural community that wasn't big on yoga, not an urbane, cosmopolitan town, they were, it was funny because I was, every time a yoga student would walk in the door, I would say namaste, but what I was thinking was ka-ching. 10 more bucks. The broke yoga teacher in me honors the middle-class person who can afford yoga in you. And then I got hired to teach power yoga to the Dixie Chicks. Those of you who don't know who they are, it's a little dated now, right? Oh, 2000, 2001, thank you. I got hired to teach, to do massage and to do yoga with the Dixie Chicks. And so I went from being a broke yoga teacher to all of a sudden going to these 5-star properties all over the US and Canada, rubbing the naked, I did massage too, right? Rubbing the naked, beautiful bodies of these 3 super hot superstars thinking, which lesbian's vision board did I look at? This is awesome. Yeah, so it's, what else could I tell you about that? I'm 50. I just turned 50 in June, right? It was funny. Thank you. I look great, right? I know. Thank you. I know. All this and funny too. It's not fair. I know. There are flat-chested people all over the world with no sense of humor. I think I'm so hot now that I'm 50. I'm like sitting there. Sometimes I go to parties just because I'm going to be there. Is Vanda going to be there? All right, I'm there. I'm so there. I think we should get that. We should take back that. Remember that thing that they used to do with royalty? They used to announce people as they walked into parties. I think that would be cool if we did that again. You know, the Duke and Duchess of Manchester. Announcing Lady Amelia, announcing Princess Dr. Captain Vanda, and herself. Ooh, thank you, that was a new joke. Some of them don't go over that well, but thank you for being there with me and helping me groom my material. Thanks. You know, I don't get that many opportunities to work with great audiences like this, so thank you. That one sucked. I agree with you on that. There's my writer right down front here. She wrote that joke. She did. Yeah, so, but anyway, I want to tell you, I meditate. Do you guys meditate? Do you guys meditate? I don't really like it, but it's better than sitting around doing nothing, right? And there are various kinds of meditation. I'm sure you all know. There's sitting in lotus meditation, right? There's walking meditation. There's lying on the couch watching American Idol meditation. Different kinds, right? And I like to, well, I don't actually, what I do is I lie in bed in the morning with frenetic, angst-ridden, self-sabotaging thoughts and think, I should sit up in lotus and have frenetic, angst-ridden, self-sabotaging thoughts. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll sit up in lotus. Like, how is sitting up going to make a difference, you know, is what I'm thinking. So, because I have intense thoughts. I do know now that I'm 50, I do know there's two things. There's the voices in your head, and then there's the one who listens to them, right? You don't always have to listen, right? You can say pass on some of those, right? Because I'm like, I have these incessant voices different. Vanda, how come you had a scarcity thought? I thought you said you were abundance. Didn't you have a little affirmation that said, I'm abundance? How come you had a scarcity thought? You better chant to the goddess Lakshmi. Chant to the goddess Om Shri Mahalakshmi Swaha. I'm like chanting to the goddess Lakshmi out of scarcity consciousness. Right? Lakshmi, come on, luck be a lady tonight. You know? And the voices are incessant. They don't voice kid station wagon. They're going, Mom, 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 Mom. My codependent kid is going, is anybody besides me here hungry? Is anyone besides me here hungry? You know, my impatient kid is going, are we there yet? Are we there yet? My alcoholic kid is going, 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I have this one evil kid. I don't know if you guys have ever had an evil child in your head, but I had one who said, this is a true story too. One morning goes, hey Vanda, I was just noticing something. I was just noticing that you never have worried about whether or not you might get a brain aneurysm. I'm not saying you have one or you might get one. I'm just saying I noticed you never worry. You're worried about arthritis and other things, but you've never worried about whether or not you might get a brain aneurysm. I'm just pointing that out to you. I mean, I'm not saying you're not going to get one. You could get one. I mean, people get them, you know. I'm just like, evil, you know, evil. And so you got to know that impartial self-observation, right, is the key to self-realization. Impartial self-observation, when you can just be neutral and look at that. I was on an airplane recently. I'm watching myself, and there's a woman 6 rows back, and she's loud. She's one of these loud people, really loud, you know. And I'm like giving her the look, you know, that you can be, you're audible 6 rows up, hello, you know. I gave her the look, she didn't stop. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute, every good yogini knows that no one's irritating. You're irritated. It's just you don't want to be responsible for it. You know, her decibels are about as loud as the garbage truck, but the garbage truck doesn't bother me and she does, right? So I'm like, okay, it's an aspect of me. The reference point is in here. Why does she bother me? You know, the sacred spiritual, if he who smelt it dealt it, right? You know, if you spot it, you got it. The ancient, you know, hermetic principles or whatever, right? So I'm like, yeah, but I'm cooler than that. I don't do that. Where do I do that? I mean, where in the world do I broadcast every single one of my precious opinions to captive rooms of people in an amplified manner? I mean, where do I don't do that. Where don't I do it? I get paid for it, you know. Oh, I gotta get out of here, but before I go, I just want to say a couple more things. I'm 50, I've never had children, right? I'm good with that. I'm not a mom. My mom still wants me to be a grandmother. She's like, hi Vanda, it's your mom. Are you still barren? She uses that word, barren. Like my womb is a dust bowl. There's like tumbleweeds going through there, right? Open the legs, you can hear, ooh. I'm good with no children. I'm a life giver to other people's children. That's what I do. You know, I'm with other people's children. I have 2 children in my neighborhood. They were great. It was a Christian military neighborhood I lived in, of all things, and they were, I know I was weird, Christian. Makes sense. Jesus loved a good carpet bombing, I guess, but so there are these 2 little girls out in the yard playing. I had just read a book about female deities, right? So I look at these little girls, I go, you guys look nice. And they said, we were at church. I said, really? What did you learn at church? And they said, we learned about our Heavenly Father. And I said, did you learn about your Heavenly Mother at all? Just wondering if the female representation of the divine is represented anywhere in your young theology at all? The 9-year-old, she actually looked at me, she goes, didn't your parents teach you anything? And then she went on to explain, as children do, right? She went on to explain, well, there are women and girls in heaven, but they're the angels sitting on the clouds next to Jesus. I said, really? Is that any fun? And she said, she goes, well, you can't really move because you're not in a body. Well, actually, you can move a little bit like this. True story. I'm trying to imagine myself for all of eternity sitting on a cloud next to Jesus with the other girls going like, Jesus, come around front. I can hardly see you out of my peripheral vision. Come around front. I want to see you. True story. The next day I walk back there and the 4-year-old sees me walking down the street and without censoring herself, she lets it slip. She goes, our mother told us we can't talk to you anymore. Crazy heretic down the lane, you know. Come to my house, little girl, 666 over Lake Court. Yes, that is my inverted pentagram in the garden. Yes, it is.
mummies and a lock of your mummy's hair. I'll give you a working knowledge of herbs. All the wise women know about herbs. Come on, little girl.